While relocating from Ohio to Texas, we decided to move into our travel trailer while we built a house.
Here it is.
Rock and roll!
Our family of 4 went from a 2,100 square foot of living space to 230 square feet.
There are moments when it feels like months. The key to this was making sure that everything had a spot.
This is how we kept our sanity while living in a travel trailer for several months.
You probably can't hear me because of this air conditioning. Okay. So I figured I would go ahead and give you all a sneak peek of what a day in the life looks like for us, especially like living in the camper. Most of the time when we wake up, the kids go to school, Clayton goes to work, and I make my extremely long commute, the 5 steps to the table to do my job. So now that we've been living it for several months, we've been able to work, sorry, not months, weeks. There are moments when it feels like months. We've been able to kind of work the kinks out as to where things need to be placed and stored and kind of organized. Some of the things aren't ideal, but it works for our situation. So I figured I'd give you a little bit of a tour of how I've decided to organize the camper to keep a family of 4 plus a small zoo organized in a 26-foot travel trailer. So that's what we are currently in. We're in a 26-foot travel trailer Jayco J-Flight SLX series. It is a 2016 model, so it's not new. There's a few things that we have had to work on and fix while we have lived in the camper. Not that big of a deal. Thankfully, we've, I mean, it's frustrating, but we've managed to make it work. The other thing that we've been fighting is that this thing is not a 4 seasons camper. What we were concerned about when we moved down here were the extreme temperatures and humidity that can come with living in Texas. So far, it hasn't been all that bad. The air conditioning unit has been running 24/7 nonstop, although we have been able to lower it to a low cool instead of a high cool. With our model of camper, we don't have a thermostat where we can set it and it will regulate itself. It's just either on or off. So that's what we're going with. We also have had a couple of smaller fans that we've placed on the floor just to kind of keep the air circulating and to sit in front of or to put in front of the dogs. And everything has seemed to work out really well. But let me at least take you a little tour. For those of you who have lived in a camper or living in a camper, this might be interesting for you. Those of you who know us and are kind of curious as to how we're keeping our sanity, this might be interesting for you, for everybody else. So sorry. This will either turn you on to camper living or off. It's our bedroom. I went ahead, I purchased several baskets that have basically, this is our dresser. So up top here is our dresser. We've got, the boys' shirts and pants and clothes and, some of, my stuff and Clayton's stuff. And here we ended up purchasing, we've got our hanging items. I've got a couple of my pants below, and then hats up top. You can never go wrong with a good hat. And then we ended up purchasing a shoe organizer, a hanging shoe organizer. And then I've got my tank tops, and I've rolled up my t-shirts, and they've all stored real nicely in here. That has kept us organized as far as the cabinets go and our clothes. You saw me hang some of these in one of our previous videos. These have actually turned out real well. I've got one for me and one for Clayton over there. Not a fan of that, but I don't know where else to put all of our shoes. course, we got our lovely doors. Clayton did insist on putting the TV in there, and I'm like, I'm not sure, like, should we? But what it turns out is that at night when the kids go to bed and we shut all the lights off in here, we can kind of escape back there and still watching TV and catch up on all of our like reality trash and YouTube and stuff without like disturbing the kids, and it's completely dark in here and they're able to sleep. So under the couch is our next big area that we've got a lot of, that I've utilized a lot more since living in it. Aside from blankets being in there, we also have 3 bins full of toys that I can easily pull out for the kids to play in. It's easy cleanup for the kids. That has helped a lot as far as keeping everything clean and organized, and you know, quick access to stuff for them, but also a quick way for us to put things away so that we don't have so that we're not tripping over stuff. I mean, you know, you can see that we don't have that much space, and then when you've got the dogs lying in the floor, you know, you're really limited. So our pantry is another area that I've tried to organize a little bit. I took several of the bins that we used in our current pantry. What do y'all think? You need a treat? Is that what's going on here? I took some of the bins that are in... Oh, you want one too? It's never ending. Everyone comes running when I open the pantry door. I have used some of our containers that I bought from IKEA that were in actually our pantry in the house, and I just moved them in here, and they've worked out great, at least to kind of consolidate everything and keep, you know, all snack items in one bin, breads and chips in another, condiments in another, you know, things that don't easily stack up like a soup can would. And of course, dog treats and cat treats and kid treats and adult treats and loved one treats. It's a little messier than I would like, and but I did also, because we have the camper, I was able to move everything out of, from, not everything, but most things from like the pantry into this pantry to, you know, so that I don't want to have to rebuy stuff. No one wants to have to rebuy stuff. I think that's like one of like the worst things of moving, is when you're like throwing or giving away stuff that you know you're going to end up having to rebuy. So I was trying to limit that as much as possible. So for the kids' beds, I ended up going back and buying 2 more of those baskets and hanging them on the wall. It's a great place for them to like put their books and their water bottles and a couple of their little trinkets or like toys that they want to keep out and not store underneath of the couch. That has been great. So then it gives them a place to kind of put that up so they're not sleeping on top of it and rolling over it in the middle of the night and hurting themselves. So we're getting hurt. Anyway. Turns out the dog also likes to sleep in there with Jackson, which is interesting. And then in here, this has worked out really well as well. We've got his and hers toiletry bins. I picked up the little organizer compartments at the dollar store in an earlier video. Those have turned out great. It's keeping the counter, it's a really tiny counter spot, so keeping that clean and organized and things put up. Again, the key to this was making sure that everything had a spot and everything had its place and everything had a location to kind of keep the clutter to a minimum. I mean, we're gonna have it no matter what. It's a product of living with children. The other thing that we've done is we've hung hooks here for the towels. These Turkish towels, maybe it's just the brand that I got. They don't dry that great, like dry us that great, but they take up no space at all. They do them dry themselves like extremely fast, and in a spot that's already super tiny, like we don't need to take up more room than we already need to. So this bin over here, y'all saw me hang, and that's got more towels on it. That last spot that I tried to attempt to organize earlier is underneath of this sink. In an earlier video, I said out loud, why does all this stuff need to be in there? This is for the black tank. We've got stuff in here that belongs outside, like black water, or like black tank supplies. Like none of that belongs in here. That can all go outside. Well, it turns out you need black tank stuff next to where you would put them in to clean said black tank. It was an extremely stressful week, so I just wasn't thinking. A bin over there of cleaning supplies, and we got extra items in here, and then of course quick access to Hey, black tank deodorizers. So, lesson learned for me. Anytime you want to deodorize a black tank, you don't want to have to go outside and underneath one of the pass-throughs to get it. I don't know why that wasn't... That seems like common sense to me. It just wasn't to me earlier. I guess what I didn't mention in the kitchen area too, one of the items that I got to help keep our countertops clear, because again, there's not a lot of counter space. I got a macrame fruit basket, I don't know, whatever, a macrame fruit hanging thing. This one, I don't want to drill into these cabinets. So they are just stuck up there with some pretty strong adhesive hooks. Again, this is great. It's keeping all, like, it gives me a spot for the fruits and the vegetables and everything that, you know, can't go in the fridge and doesn't, I mean, there's no, you all saw, I have no pantry space. So that is, that's helped there. That's basically everything that we've got going on here. We've done our best to make sure that everything has a spot, everything's got a location. And so far it has been functioning fairly well for us. The boys should, all the boys should be back here shortly from work and school, so we can go ahead and get our weekend started. I'll be cooking dinner. What are you doing? Yeah? You're shaking the whole camper. One of the best hacks that I came across while I was trying to figure out different ways to organize and save our sanity during our time living in here is getting, yep, that's the right one, is getting one of these like baskets from the dollar store, and then all of our shoes are in this basket. So it helps keep, one, all the shoes organized in the spot, and then the inside of our camper a little bit clean because all the dirt stays out here, mostly. We've been ending our evenings with walks here. It gets last minute wiggles out for the... Yep.
I need help putting
It's been getting the last minute wiggles for the kids out, giving the dogs a break and getting some of their energy out. And then it's just been a great way to end the evening as a family. Today, I just have Jackson with me. What way do you want to go? This way. Yeah, we can go that way. I'll follow you. All right, we gotta go. The dogs are freaking out.